And so we took that to say, okay, I got to protect my feelings, my emotions. I gotta be in a space where I'm not gonna be wounded. And so that's kind of how I think we carried ourselves towards one another, because, you know, you were brothers. You knew you loved each other. You just didn't say it in that way where people would say, "Oh, you soft," or back then, it ain't politically correct, but they was like, "You gay." You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's gay. Quit acting like a sissy, right? So once again, it was like, don't show your emotions, because someone gonna take advantage of you and wound you if you show your emotions.
That's good. Come on, jump in, Sylvester.
Yeah, again, we're talking about hindsight, right? And,
Yeah.
at some point, we're going to have to end this conversation because the street light's coming on, right? And nobody wants to be late getting home because you know what that means. And so I think what Brent was saying is, hey man, I'm following the rules of the house, and I'm looking out for my mother, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And so, when somebody began to question, that, then he was able to say, man, hey, look, what's once understood need not be explained. You already understand how important my family is. You already understand that when that street light comes on, that means I need to be making my way home. And so you don't have to explain things that are clear, that are a part of what I refer to as a cultural norm. And what he was saying is, hey man, this is a cultural norm, whatever it is. And if you don't understand this, then maybe you are not as much of this culture, or much a part of this culture as you want us to believe you are.
That's rich, man. That's rich, y'all. And with that, y'all, we're going to take our first break, y'all. You're listening to The Front Porch. What time is it?
Bedtime.
My wife never gets home in time to see little man go to sleep. Her bus stop is a mile away. I wish I could at least walk home with her. I'm completing the 2020 census for my family. My response can impact how public funding is spent in my community. That could mean education for little man and a closer bus stop for her. Hey.
Hey.
Shape your future. Start here. Complete the census at 2020census.gov.
And we're back, folks, to the Front Porch, where we're discussing this day, a word that came from us when it says that which is understood does not need to be explained. And we were using it from hindsight, but now we're going to move into this idea of insight. What does this mean for us today? And I'm going to start off with Brother Willie. Brother Willie, what does this mean for you right here, right now?
Well, really, the basis of all of it is that it is a meeting of the minds. You understand, both of you have to be on the same accord so that you can understand what's going on. I have an uncle, had an uncle, Uncle Nelson, and I remember he was getting with one of my cousins, and he said something to that cousin. He said, come on over here, boy. Understanding is a wonderful thing. And he said, now pull your pants down and let's see if we on the same page. And he got busy with him. and I'll never forget that as long as I live. But in order for society to get things done, people have to be on the same page. So you're not redoing things that were already done, or forgetting things. Just keeping on the plan to get things done.
That's all right. That's all right. Come on, Sylvester, jump in.
Yeah, I think, again, I want to continue to build on this idea of core values and community values, right? Because there are some things that, that just happened in the neighborhood that you believe that everybody should be aware of. For example, we had the conversation some time ago about, hey man, if you see something going on with somebody in your neighborhood, it's your job to look out for them. Your brothers and your sisters, your neighbors, your job was to look out for them. That was a community value. And so, if you allowed something to happen, then you really made it clear to people that either you weren't from that neighborhood, the 48505, or maybe there were some things about your being that needed to be corrected. And so I think it really gets to this idea that there's some things about growing up in the 48505 that Brent understood, and he felt like because he got it, other people should have got it as well.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Come on, Todd.
So I'm thinking about the expression we used to use back in the day. What time is it? You know, and I don't mean like literally what time is it? Like, do you know what time it is? Like, do you know who you are, where you at, and what the game is, right? And so I remember, one of the rules that were taught to us in the 05 zip code was don't run from the police.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Flat out, don't run from the police. I don't care if you did it or you didn't do it. Don't run, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you would always have somebody like, why we shouldn't run from the police? And then I could hear Brent saying, that which is understood does not need to be explained, right?
Come on.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So like everybody been saying, there's some things that are just knowns, right? You just should know this, right? For your own survival and for the survival of those who you love in your space.
And that's good, and that's really, really good. And so I want to just twist this just a little bit, y'all. And I want to talk about this thing. And I think all of you are tapping on it. It's this whole idea of intuition, right? It's something about that. It was something about those things that were happening. We didn't all live on the same block, but we all still were ruled by the same street light.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We weren't all privy to the same conversations, but we were all told don't run from the police. And yet, so there was an intuitive factor of how this happened that you didn't have to go and tell your partner what to do. They already understood it. It was just there. It was as natural as you walking or breathing. Yeah. And so I want y'all to ponder this thought for a moment. What intuitively, what were we picking up by growing up there that helps us even now, that nobody has to explain to us some of the things that's going on in this world?
Yeah. Hey man, check this out. So if you playing outside, right, and that street light came on, everybody just started walking away, right?
Exactly.
And you would all start walking towards their house, right? Or running, really. And then you always have one like, where y'all going?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Todd, that is extremely important what you just said, right? Because as we stand here, or as we sit here today on the front porch, we have this conversation about the street light. Those of us who knew the rule and the expectations of the street light are able to have this conversation today. Those people who didn't understand what
come on, you're right.
Light meant, are likely not with us today,
right?
Because there are some things about expectations of the household, expectations of the neighborhood, expectations of the community that they just didn't internalize. And so, the Bible reminds us, train up a child in the way it should go, and when they're old, they will not depart from it. The one thing that I know all of us know is we understand that there are some things that are right and there are some things that are wrong, and the street light helped us to develop that understanding.
Come on now. Come on, Willie. Woo!
Wow. Well, from my perspective, the Street light. Well, it wasn't necessarily a street light. My mama would told me to come in the house at a certain time, and shoot, it could still be light outside, and be asking why I gotta, cause I said so. That's good enough for me, you know.
Exactly. And you knew not to question it.
We didn't have a watch, so how we knew what time it was?
Oh, we knew. We knew.
You just
I could be blocks away and be like, oh, look at that sun. Time to go. Yeah.
Check this out, man. So it was like Sylvester was saying, it was this common